from here on the Lionsgate Bridge, if you look straight up ahead and a little bit to the right, you'll see the Canadian flag flying over there. That's at the highest elevation in all of downtown Vancouver. It's called Prospect Point. That whole area is built up on old volcanic domes. They've got a viewpoint platform with a great view there. You can grab some ice cream and concession type snacks over there and enjoy the viewpoint platform. That's in Stanley Park. If you look to the right of Stanley Park, the point of land that's out there, that's called Point Grey. Most of that area is a protected forest called the Endowment Lands. The buildings that you can see up on the very top of Point Grey, that is the University of British Columbia, and on the other side of that point is Vancouver's famous clothing optional beach, Wreck Beach, not one of the stops on the way back. The mountains you can see to the right, way off in the far horizon, that is Vancouver Island, an hour-and-a-half ferry ride from here. And all the ships that are out there are all waiting to be reloaded. Vancouver has the 4th largest port in North America, and that's over on the left-hand side, the Orange Cranes. At the bottom of Stanley Park from here, on the right side and on the left-hand side, you can view the seawall. The seawall goes all the way around the park. It's 9 kilometers or 6 miles long. Each one of the blocks of the seawall weighs 100 pounds. It was built to protect the shoreline from erosion. It took more than 60 years to complete its construction. The work could only be done when the tide was at its lowest, which was usually during the night, and as the money became available to do the work. It was completed in 1981. It's one of the favorite pastimes of Vancouverites to either walk or cycle around. You get great views of the ocean, the city, the mountains, sunrises, sunsets. It's highly recommended. It's one of the favorite pastimes of Vancouverites, and it's highly recommended by me. I always recommend our visitors rent a bicycle and do the bike ride around the seawall. Stanley Park is the largest municipal park in Canada. It has 1,001 acres. You can compare that with New York City's Central Park. Central Park has 840 acres. Stanley Park is often voted the world's most beautiful park. It first officially opened in 1888. It was dedicated by Lord Stanley of Preston. He was the Governor General of Canada at that time. He dedicated the park for the use and enjoyment of people of all different colors, creeds, and customs. You may also recognize the name Stanley because it was the same Lord Stanley who donated the first coveted Stanley Cup used in the NHL. 100 years later, in 1988, Stanley Park was declared a National Historic Site. And to the current day, the park is a Canadian military reserve. Each year, the federal government of Canada leases the park to the provincial government of British Columbia for a whopping $1. There's approximately 500,000 trees in the park, and about 70% of the forest is coniferous or evergreen. It stays green all year round. Most of this forest is second growth forest. This area was logged from the 1800s up until as late as 1920. There are still some old growth trees in the park, some of them more than 800 years old. But coming up here to the entrance of the park in a moment, if you look out to the left, you get a bit of a glimpse of the Shakespeare Garden, which contains all the plants that William Shakespeare mentioned in all of his works. That's here on the left. And then further up the hillside there to the left, the Rose Garden, more than 3,500 different rose bushes in the Rose Garden. Near it is Stanley's Bar and Grill, great place to grab a craft beer, bite to eat, and enjoy the gardens. If you look out on the right, that's Lost Lagoon in Stanley Park. Lost Lagoon was originally a saltwater lagoon. It would rise and fall with the tide. When they built the roadway that we're on, they disconnected it from the water out on the left. Water out on the left is called Cole Harbor. The Lost Lagoon got its name from a native poet and author. She used to write her poetry out there in her canoe. She was once so focused on the poetry, didn't realize the tide was going out, and when she looked up, her canoe stuck in the mud. She had lost her lagoon. At this next intersection ahead here, that is Denman Street. On the right-hand corner is the closest place to rent a bicycle if you would like to rent a bicycle to ride around the seawall in Stanley Park. One of the favorite pastimes of Vancouverites, either walk or cycle around the seawall, like I mentioned. If you were to rent a bicycle to ride around the seawall, you would go around counterclockwise. There's 2 lanes on the seawall, one for the people on foot, one for the people on bicycle or rollerblades. The one for the bicycle or rollerblades only goes counterclockwise, so it would take you out to the other end of Denman Street on the right-hand side. Over there, that's English Bay. It's one of the most popular beaches in Vancouver. It's only about a 10-minute walk down Denman Street to get there. There's lots of great restaurants along Denman Street as well. Also at English Bay, they have the amazing laughter sculptures. So there's 14 sculptures of hysterical laughter. Very popular with our visitors. Go there, get your photo taken with the laughing sculptures. The next intersection up ahead of us there, that's Cardero Street. If you go left on Cardero Street, then that takes you to the Weston Bay Shore, and this is our drop-off location right here for the Weston Bay Shore Hotel. It was also the first ever drive-in restaurant. It first opened up back in 1928. If you look 2 blocks up ahead here, on the left-hand side of the street, there's the building with the black glass. Up on the top of the building, if you look there, there's a cement column, and then the steel cables that come down. The building is called the Cube. It was designed to be earthquake-proof. So the cement column up at the top was built first, and then all of the units are all suspended by the steel cables. If I lived in that building, I'd be sure to pay my cable bill on time. It's not a very good joke. But that building was also the headquarters of the TV series MacGyver. Phoenix Foundation. Very large filming industry and television industry in Vancouver. It's a $1 billion a year, at least every year industry. Last year, more than $2 billion. People affectionately refer to Vancouver as Hollywood North. We have the Lionsgate Film Studios here. They got their name from the Lionsgate Bridge that we just drove over. We're now on Alberni Street. The street that runs parallel to it, 1 block up, is Robson Street. Robson Street is known as Vancouver's equivalent to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Lots of upscale shopping, cozy cafes, and great restaurants. On an average, 22,000 people walk up and down Robson Street shopping each day. So like I said, just 1 block up to the right is Robson, and then to the left a little bit, that's the Blue Horizon Hotel. And this is our drop-off location for the Blue Horizon Hotel. Butte Street as we go through the intersection. If you look to the right, you'll see a BC liquor store. There's a sign for it over here as well too if you missed it. BC liquor store, if you want to pick up yourself some beverages, that's the best place to go. It is a provincial government run liquor store, so you won't find lower prices anywhere else. There are a few different locations throughout downtown Vancouver. Lots of high-end shopping in these next couple blocks of Alberni Street. As we go through this intersection, if you look to the right, on the right-hand side, you'll see green awnings for the Joe Forte's Seafood and Chop House restaurant. That's the most popular seafood restaurant in Vancouver. It's named in honor of Joe Fortes, the first official lifeguard in Vancouver. He saved more than 200 lives during his lifeguarding career and taught thousands of Vancouverites how to swim. His funeral procession was the largest the city has ever seen. More than 10,000 people awaited that funeral procession at the beach that I mentioned earlier, English Bay. There's a fountain at English Bay dedicated to Joe Fortes as well, and a library named in his honor on Denman Street also. The building right in front of us here is the Fairmont Hotel Vancouver. It's the oldest hotel in Vancouver. It was completed in 1938. It's actually the 3rd Hotel Vancouver. The first one burned down in a fire. The second one was demolished so as not to be competition with this 3rd. They've got a Louis Vuitton at the bottom of the Hotel Vancouver if you'd like to do some souvenir shopping. Last year they completely replaced the roof, installed a bell spire, and put in a kitchen for helping to feed the homeless. This is our stop here for the Hyatt Regency Hotel. yeah, we didn't have anybody for the higher agency, did we? Oh, did we? Okay. Water is running down the stairs here on the right hand side. The building that's behind it is the Bill Reid Art Gallery. If you're interested in Northwest Coast native art, that would be a great place to go. Bill Reid was an acclaimed Haida artist. We've seen lots of these Japa dog stands throughout downtown Vancouver. Get some seaweed, kimchi, teriyaki on your hot dog if you like. Personally, I prefer Costco. $1.50 buys you a hot dog and a refillable drink. Can't really go wrong with that. Over across on the left-hand side there, on the corner, you see the green pillars with the silver boxes inside. It's a public art piece. It's by Alan Story, called Public Service Private Steps. The silver boxes move up and down in synchronization with the elevators in the building. Now, it is a federal government building, so generally the silver boxes either move very slowly or not at all. Doesn't matter where you're from, always the same story with the federal government. This brown and cream color building up ahead, the Marine Building, as we go by, take a look at some of the artwork on the exterior terracotta panels. The artwork represents transportation, marine life, and the discovery of the Pacific Coast. It's been used in many television and film productions, was the Daily Planet in the popular TV series Smallville. In 1930, when the building was completed, it was the tallest in the British Empire, and it remained so for more than a decade. Kind of hard to tell with all the skyscrapers around it today. It cost $2.2 million to build. The project went bankrupt during the Great Depression, and it was bought by the Guinness family for only $900,000. That's the same Guinness family famous for Guinness beer or the Guinness Book of World Records. Across the street on the left-hand side there, just underneath the Fairmont Pacific Rim at the bottom, there is a gelato shop, and that gelato shop has won first place in the international competition for gelato in 2012 and again in 2014. Especially when the weather's nice, there'll often be a lineup coming out outside of the doors and all the way around the corner on the sidewalk. So right now, if you're wanting to beat the lineup, it would be the right time to do that. And then to the right there, that's the lookout at the Harbor Center. It's 553 feet above sea level. You get a 360-degree angle view of the city. Beneath it, there's a revolving restaurant up there too. We're on Cordova Street. We're going to turn left down here to go into Canada Place. And if you were to continue straight on Cordova Street, on the right-hand side, it's actually right at the bottom of the Harbor Center, there is another location of the BC liquor store that I mentioned earlier, provincial-run liquor store. Across from it on the left, that's the waterfront station. You can catch the sea bus from there back over to North Vancouver, the Lonsdale Quay. It's a cool little marketplace there. You can catch the Canada Line SkyTrain. That's the fastest, easiest way to get out to the Vancouver airport from downtown Vancouver. And you can also catch the original Expo Line train. It's a legacy left behind from the World's Fair in 1986. The theme of that World's Fair was transportation and communication. The SkyTrain is the world's first automated rapid light transit system. It's called the SkyTrain because it's elevated above the streets, except for in downtown Vancouver where it goes underground. Straight up ahead from here you can see 5 of the 10 sails of Canada Place. The 10 sails of Canada Place represent the 10 provinces of Canada. It's the terminal for cruise ships, the old convention centre, another legacy left behind from the World's Fair in 1986. The new convention centre is up ahead to the right there. It was completed in 2009 for the Winter Olympics in 2010. If you look up on the very top, you can see part of the living green roof. 6 acres designed to recreate coastal grassland. More than 400,000 different types of plants and grasses up there, and 4 permanently installed beehives. Each one of the beehives contains approximately 80,000 bees to assist with the ecosystem. It's the largest non-industrial living green roof in North America. Helps to keep the building cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. It is one of the greenest convention centers in the world. If you walk down to the other side of it, you can check out the Olympic cauldron that was first lit by hockey great Wayne Gretzky. Designed to look like ice, still gets lit for special occasions like Canada's birthday on July the 1st and Remembrance Day. This July the 1st, Canada will be celebrating its 150th birthday. Here we are at Canada Place. Have a great day, everyone.